It's a new day, it's a new week, and it's rookie minicamp time right here on the Wayne Breezy Show. We're going to break down these special dates. We're going to talk about some of these rookies to watch out for. Get ready. Breezy this, breezy that.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Breezy, and we are back. It's Monday, Manic Monday, Music Monday, Magic Monday. I can't think of any other words that start with M. It's Monday. Shout out to everybody out there. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the Wayne Breezy Show. Another round of applause for you guys. Top of the morning. We got the Breezy's Bunch crew already in the building. Fired up. Shout out to Jax Knox. She's here. Good morning, Breezy and Faithful. I hope everyone morning is going good. Let's have a great show with the hashtag BB right after. My man Eddie G is in the building. Miss Debbie's in the building. She says, happy Monday, everyone. Please make sure to hit that like button. Special shout out to all the Breezy Bunches out there. All right, Christy Marie is in the building as well. All right, who else is in here from the Breezy's Bunch? 49er Jeff is in the building. What's going on, family? And none other than Nia is in the building. Let's go. Listen, I'm super excited. We got a crazy dope show out here ready for you guys this morning. All right. And the cool thing is I'm going to open up the lines and going to bring you guys on. We're going to talk about a couple of things. I want to know from you how you guys are feeling about things about the 49ers and how their offseason has been thus far and things like that. So I can't wait to have you guys on here. But before we do that, make sure you guys hit that like button. All right. Don't forget to follow. All right. Subscribe to the channel. It's super important if you subscribe to this channel. If you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to go ahead and click the subscribe button, guys. All right. Super easy. Just click it. Boom. Don't forget to click that like button, too. It's the thumbs up. All right. Make sure you like this broadcast. We truly would appreciate it. And don't forget, if you want to become a member of the Breezy's Bunch, all you got to do is click on join, follow the prompts, and then boom, you'll be a member of the Breezy's Bunch. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. If you like to listen to it as well, it's right there on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify for you guys. So make sure you check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed. It's really good. It's a little bit more edited, things like that, a little trimmed down for you guys. But listen, it's a great listen on your ride to work or wherever it is you're going. You can follow on Twitter as well. You can also become a subscriber to Twitter at The Wayne Breezy. And don't forget to follow on Instagram and Facebook. All right, at The Wayne Breezy. Exclusive content will be back this week. I'm excited. We have some real good stuff that we can start breaking down with Rookie Minicamp going on. Okay, patreon.com/Wayne Breezy. And for those that are on Twitch and you still love Twitch and you rock out on Twitch, we got 1 or 2 Twitch watchers. Make sure if you're not there, you can subscribe for free with your Amazon Prime account, twitch.tv/The Wayne Breezy. The old account, even though it still looks like me, I have no control over it. So if you are a subscriber or a follower on the old account, which was just Wayne Breezy, unsubscribe and go ahead and subscribe on the new one. All right. It'll be, trust me, just do that for your boy Breezy. All right. I promise you. All right. So make sure you do that. Okay. And then again, there's the website. If you want the apparel that's out, we got draft day t-shirts that are out up there on the website. Go to www.twben.com/shop. All right, you can go ahead and get your apparel. We got Niners apparel. We got the Wayne Breezy apparel. We got the Nitty Gritty Niners apparel up there. We're giving you guys what you're asking for. Exclusive 49ers t-shirts will be relinquished very soon. So make sure you go ahead and take advantage of that and what's going on. All right, there is a promo code you can use on the draft day shirts. I think the promo code is draft day. All right, type in draft day. You'll save a percentage off on the draft day shirts only. All right, so make sure you check that out. All right, and for the latest in 49ers news and stories, you can go to 49erswebzone.com. All right, they'll be popping and stuff over there. All right, so let's have some fun. Here we go. So this is kind of like breaking news, and we're going to go over the schedule. Schedule releases this Thursday. Shout out to my man Matt Barrows out there. Look, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but this is what I'm reading right now from Matt Barrows. Per Matt Barrows, it's not looking like the 49ers will be the Jags' opponent in London this year. Team already has a pretty wicked East Coast schedule, and sending them another 3 miles eastward would be rough. Sketch is supposed to be released this week. Schedule release May 11th. We are playing the Jags. Listen, it's funny because I did my schedule, what's that thing? Prediction, like who we're going to play and where we're going to play them. And I put the Jags at a certain spot. But from what Matt Barrows is saying is the 49ers may not be playing across the pond this season due to the way that their East Coast scheduling is. It's crazy. The 49ers will be East a lot this year. To have them go all the way over to, and it sucks because I wanted to meet my brothers and sisters from across the pond. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I'm just saying this is per Matt Barrows. He's just saying that it's more than likely not going to happen. But the cool thing is you're going to get schedule leaks this week. Some of them may be true. Some of them may be not untrue. Some of them may be untrue. All right. I promise you, though, on Wednesday's show, we're going to have some fun because we're going to try to predict everything that's going down and who's going to play where and when's going to play, when we're going to play and things like that. But there's a slight possibility, according to Matt Barrows, that the 49ers may not be playing across the pond. Do I have the boo sound? Yeah. The boo. The boo-boos. Yep. I see my man Kylie's out here. He says, look, Breezy, looking forward to seeing you guys Cleveland, Pittsburgh this season. And so, as you can see, we are on the East Coast this year. All right. And it's going to be a weird, awkward trip. I'm hoping they schedule these two games back to back. And it's possible, right? But have we ever played, and I'm asking you guys out there, have we ever played back-to-back teams in the same division on the road? I know that's a weird question. I know we played the Giants and the Jets in the 2020 season back-to-back, two different divisions, two different damn conferences, actually. Have we ever played a team back-to-back? If so, this might be the first time you might see a Cleveland-Pittsburgh back-to-back, which would be good for the Niners because now they can stay on the East Coast probably before they head back home. I think that's kind of like what it's going to be. And this might even happen before a bye week to give the Niners some extra, time to recoup. They're going to be playing the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers on the East Coast. It was back-to-back, Mike, right? On the road. You're actually right, Mike. We played the Panthers the week, and I remember I didn't go to that game. And then I did end up going to the Atlanta Falcons game. So, different conference, different divisions. So it's possible that they may do that. I'm glad that you said that. Thank you, Mike. I do remember that. I remember not going to the Panthers game because I had a wedding, but then I did fly down to Atlanta the week after. So I believe Mike is absolutely 1,485% correct, which is well over 100%. I think you're 1 billion% right. This is good because then the Niners, the Niners can actually good. And 49er Jeff says they'll probably stay in Virginia. I think they'll stay in West Virginia. I think that's their official workout spot when they kind of come to the East Coast. 49er Jeff, I think it's West Virginia. The only reason why I say it's West Virginia because I remember that's where Colton McKivitz went to school. And I remember when they go to West Virginia, I always bust out in the song. So I think they will practice in West Virginia. Good point, though, 49er Jeff, which would make it official. Oh, but T-Jack says they're in the same division. That's right. They're in the South. But the North, right? So the North would be the Steelers. The North would be the Steelers and the Browns. Yeah, we did it right. He's right. He's right, T-Jack 478. He's right. I agree with Mike. So we would be playing the AFC North back to back. Hopefully, I don't know if this is right. I'm just going for a guess. On Wednesday's show, I'm going to try to predict and see if I stay true to the. Now, when I did my schedule prediction thing via Ticketmaster, I believe that's what it was. I was half freaking asleep. Never do things when you're half asleep. I didn't even remember saving my schedule prediction. We'll go over it on the Wednesday show. It's going to be funny. I'll try to have somebody up here. We'll go over it on the Wednesday show. It's going to be cool. I do want to start out the show with a super chat contribution. Jax is in the building. She did the first one. She says, really, Jags? Really? Really, Matt? Really, whoever? Just really. That was worth a reading. Thank you. Thank you, Jax, for the super chat contribution. Hey, look, I'm not saying that it's not going to go down. But according to Matt Barrows, who's connected, I'm just saying that it's a possibility that the 49ers don't end up playing in London. They did play in Mexico last year. So they did travel outside the country last year. So there's a small slight chance that they don't end up going to London just due to the way that the scheduling is. We'll see. We still might be that London game. Who knows? All right, so that's the schedule, guys. Thursday is going to be the schedule release. I'm hoping I'm not working, because if not, we're going to have to do something with Nothing But Niners. That's the day that they go live. So we'll go live together at the same time and do a cross-platform type show Thursday when they release the schedule. And we'll start going through the schedule. And we can actually do our first schedule prediction. So get ready for that special show Thursday night. All right. Let's go to rookie minicamp. Rookie minicamp begins this Friday and ends on Saturday. And we're going to go and kind of break some of these rookies down and things like that. So for those that are going to be out there, it's going to be able to get coverage. I'm not sure if the rookie minicamp is open to the fans or just the media or what. But rookie minicamp begins May 12th through the 13th. Now, who will be attending rookie minicamp? It's going to be your drafted players. All right. It's going to be your drafted players. It's going to be the undrafted free agents. Okay. And then it's going to be the special invites. Now, I believe the 49ers have 4 to 5 special invites. I mean, the last one that they added was Steven, who's going to be the quarterback. Let me make sure I get his Steven. I'm going to make sure I get his name right. Y'all not going to trash me on the dude's name. Quarterback he played for the XFL, for the Sea Dragons. So he'll be the rookie mini camp's quarterback. What's going on, Raphael? How you doing out there? Troy's in the building too. What's going on, Troy? I know you were getting ready for your Florida trip. I hope you have a safe trip, man, out there. Mike Ing is in the building too as well. Let's talk about they got, so what is that? That's 9 plus 12. That's 22. I would say plus another 4 or 5. They're looking about 27 to 28 rookies that are going to be participating in this camp. I'm just going to round it off to the motherfucking 30 number. Let's just round it off to 30. You know what I'm saying? We'll round that off to 30 and things like that. And so we're going to see kind of like how rookie minicamp kind of like shapes out. This is the best part of rookie minicamp. You're going to get a first look at what these players can do. They're going to go through. And the cool thing about rookie minicamp is they're coming straight from kind of like their college program. So they have some time off, but they're going to be first acclimated. It's not going to be too many installs, but they'll get some really good first insight on what professional camp is going to be like. And so it's going to be really interesting to watch and see which players are going to stand out. I believe there's some players that will stand out. I'm hoping. This is, they didn't get drafted, but I'm hoping that they do stand out. And I'll go through the players in a second. So I see you got a super chat contribution from Jackson. When can the fans attend 49ers practices? That schedule will be released. It does get released. I believe fans have to buy tickets and things like that, or get tickets for it. But I do know that it definitely might be some of the OTA sessions. I can't remember, but definitely training camp. I do know fans can attend the training camp, and then you sit in a select area. And I'm definitely going to be working my magic to try to get out a couple of days to the camp so I can write some stories and things like that for WebZone. But listen, the fans are able to attend. I believe you get tickets. If you're a season ticket holder, it might be some tickets in that. And there's some people out there that are more experts with this question. So feel free to ask the chat. They might they actually know the answer. They've been there, so they might actually know the answer. I've never been to a training camp session, so I'm excited that hopefully this year I will get the opportunity to participate at a training camp this year. That's what I'm working on. So there you go, guys. Rookie minicamp, May 12th through the 13th. Let's talk about some of these rookies. Again, we got a 90-man roster, 12 UDFAs, 9 drafted, 22 free agents, 47 returning players. And when you're looking at the UDFAs, the undrafted free agents, these are the rookies that are going to be participating. I just want to talk about a guy let me get my list from last year. So last year's rookie minicamp was an interesting one. I'm going to read to you guys some names, And I want to hear your thoughts on this. All right. So last year, the 49ers had 14 undrafted free agents that they signed. 14. Kevin Atkins, defensive lineman. Jeremiah Gamel, fullback. They had him labeled as a fullback. I could have swore he was a linebacker coming out of North Carolina, but they had him labeled as a fullback. Taylor Hawkins, who made it to the practice squad. All right. So did Jeremiah Gamel. I believe he was on the roster for a second. Quantrez Knight, cornerback. And Taylor Hawkins is a safety too, by the way. Tayser Mack, wide receiver. Tay Martin, wide receiver. Jordan Mason, running back. Marcelino McCrary Ball, linebacker. Sagan Alubi, linebacker. Leon O'Neal Jr., safety. Jason Poe, offensive lineman. Sham Schluter, offensive lineman. Garrett Walton, that was the tight end. And Donovan West, which was a center offensive lineman. Now, I mention those names because I can tell you right now, Taylor Hawkins, Quantrez Knight, Tay Martin, Jordan Mason, Marcelino McCrary Ball, Jason Poe, that's at 6, and I believe Sham Schluter made the practice squad last season, if I'm not mistaken. Jeremiah Gamel was there for a period of time. I do remember him, but I don't. They must have released him at some point. But only one of those players, okay, made the active 53 roster. How crazy is that? Who was that player, guys? Who was that player? One player made the active 53, which means he was dressed, suited up, and made the 53-man roster as an undrafted free agent. Let's see how much you guys pay attention to me on Twitter. I'm waiting for the player name to pop up. Name the one player that made the active 53 roster. Not special teams, not what is it called? Practice squad, the active 53. And here we go. I'm gonna go with T-Jack 478. He hit the nail on the head first answer I see my man Oscar is in here. Jordan Mason was the one player that made the active 53. I mean, the kid lined up as running back. He was the closer for the team. We've seen him multiple times. I felt like we could have used him a lot more. He finished the season with a touchdown, got his first touchdown in the Raiders game. All right, interesting player. But he was active, he was suited up for special teams, and that's crazy. So 1 out of 14, y'all, made the active roster. And I know you're probably saying, what the hell is Breezy talking about, or where's he going with this? I'm a preacher. Let me set it up. I'm not a preacher, but you know what I'm trying to say. Let me set you up. We got 12 players this year, 2 less than last year. And when I pull up the list, it's scrolling right down on the bottom of the screen. You got a couple of running backs up there. You got Joey Fisher, who also was labeled as a linebacker, who's labeled as a fullback. All right. You got a couple of cornerbacks up there. You got 3 offensive linemen. I'm telling you, like the 49ers, you got 2 wide receivers. They got another safety in here. And we're gonna go through each one of these players before I open up the phone lines. And have you guys on. I want to know how you guys feel about the offseason so far. But listen, this is super interesting. Because out of 14 players, 1 made the active roster. And I will say that Quantrez Knight, Tay Martin, Taylor Hawkins, Jason Poe, McCrary Ball, though, ended up with a 1-year contract. That's huge. That means out of all those players, he's probably the closest to making the 53. We were just extra stacked at the linebacking position last year. So that's going to be very interesting to see what McCrary Ball does. We did draft 2 linebackers. So it's going to be interesting to see how the 49ers are going to pay attention. And if McCrary Ball was granted the 1-year deal, he's the only one that was signed out of those futures guys. Jason Poe, Martin, like Quantrez Knight, or out of all those guys, you know, he ended up with a 1-year deal. So we're going to see how that works out. It's going to be very interesting, but they did draft 2 linebackers. Let's go through these guys really quickly. Then I want to go through the drafted guys because this practice is mainly for the drafted guys, but I like the underdogs I like the undrafted guys. Who's going to be this year's Jordan Mason off of this list? You got Ronald A. Watt, running back. You got Jack Coletto, fullback, linebacker, quarterback. Joey Fisher, offensive lineman. Deshaun Jameson, cornerback. Kaylon LeBourne, running back. Corey Luciano, offensive lineman. Il Manning, offensive lineman. Mariano Sori Marin, linebacker. Spencer Wage, defensive lineman, edge. Shea Wyatt, wide receiver. Avery Young, safety. And last but not least, Isaiah Winstead, wide receiver, who looks like a freak out there. That kid looks like he's going to be able to be a big inside slot guy. Notice how the team is set. They drafted Ronnie Bell. That's your Ray McLeod. They got and they went and got a big 6'4", 225 pound. I don't know how much he weighs. He's the big 6'4" kid that can run routes, and you can line him up inside. He may even be a better route runner than Juwan Jennings. And this is not me passing off Juwan Jennings, but Ray McLeod and Juwan Jennings are two of the 49er wide receivers that are on their final years of their deals, as well as some of the veteran guys. I brought those two guys up because I'm trying to explain to you why they drafted Ronnie Bell, and they found a kid that no one else would take a chance on, and Isaiah Winstead, okay? No one else would take a chance on. I got to pull this comment up because we're talking about him. TJack478 says, I see Isaiah Winstead making the roster. I think he'll push Jennings off the roster. See, I disagree with this, but the competition is surreal. There's no way I'm pushing off Mr. Third and Juwan. There's no wide receiver, in my opinion, that can push off Third and Juwan. You need a third down converted, is Juwan mother-freaking Jennings. I don't care if it's 3rd and 55,000, 3rd and 1, 3rd and mid. It doesn't matter. For some reason, on 3rd down, he converts. It doesn't matter if the ball's thrown high. It doesn't matter if the ball's thrown low. He finds a way on 3rd. Can't catch on 1st down. Can't catch on 2nd down. We hoping not to get to a 4th down. But on 3rd down, T-Jack, that dude converts. That's hard to walk away from that, especially at $900,000. It's hard. It's hard to move on from that. But I do like Isaiah Winstead. It's going to be really hard to make this roster. Really hard. And if Isaiah Winstead can't block my guy, he's going. But his blocking rate's pretty damn good, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's in the 60s. I'm just saying, if he can't block NFL guys, it's going to be a problem. When I look at the wide receivers, they're blocking NFL guys. And to me, Ronnie Bell has the highest blocking grade as of right now, but he hasn't blocked any NFL players yet. But he's close to 70. He's like 67 point something percent in run blocking. That's higher than any 49er wide receiver we got on this roster. Any higher. Raphael says, I think we only keep 6 wide receivers, and Winstead is one of them. This is going to be, listen, Raphael, listen, this is going to be tough, because if Winstead is one of them, that means you're telling me that their draft pick, their 7th round draft pick, Ronnie Bell, gets beat. That means you're telling me that somebody's getting beat, right? Because they got 5 that I feel like should be returning on the wide. Let me just read you the depth chart of the wide receivers that I feel like. Here are my top. This should be the top 5. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Ray McLeod, Juwan Jennings, Danny Gray, and then you're telling me that Isaiah Winstead is going to beat out the drafted guy. It's going to be tough. I don't think he does. There's a reason why he went undrafted. It's not like players. There are reasons why players go undrafted. Really, there are reasons. What's going on, Casey? Players go undrafted for reasons. It could be work ethic. It could be they went to a smaller school, didn't really produce, things like that. There are reasons why. Oh, you guys are spicy on Monday morning. Hurricane 774 says, don't be surprised if Danny Gray might be the one who gets cut. Impossible. I'm not cutting the dude that got the speed that showed me at the end of a season he's ready for the pros. On special teams, the dude was a gunner, and he was gunning and cracking backs. Remember, if you're going to be the 6th wide receiver on this roster, you have to be able to play special teams. Can Isaiah Winstead play special teams? I know Ronnie Bell could play special teams. I know Danny Gray could play special teams. I just don't know if he gets cut. Gregus Khan, I agree with you. He's the gunner. He's not getting cut. He's definitely not getting cut. Peachy's in the building. We got a Peachy sighting. Air horn. In meetings, just checking in. No problem. We holding it down. Thank you for being here, Peachy. We truly appreciate you. It's gonna be super interesting. But I tell you what you guys are gonna get from this rookie minicamp, my eyes are on the wide receiver position. And it's going to be interesting because I am pulling for Isaiah Winstead. He's the underdog. I like what I saw in this film. His highlights look pretty darn gone good. The question is, can he block? That's the question. All right, can he block? And then Raphael says, well, if he doesn't beat out Bell, does he make the practice squad? It's going to be tough. And here's why. It's not tough to make the practice. First of all, it's not tough to make the practice squad, guys. But what's going to be tough is if he has a great damn camp, there's no way the Niners can let him go. So the question is, who do they put on that practice squad? I'm looking at the vets. I'm not putting Ray McLeod on the practice squad. You can't. I don't even think he's eligible. You can't put Jawan Jennings on the practice squad. You could try to cut Ronnie Bell. Kyle Shanahan's going to have to stash a guy, in my opinion. He's going to have to stash a guy. You're already upping one player to a position. He's going to have to stash a guy. It's going to be super interesting. All right, so from these undrafted guys, and again, Raphael, if he does get cut, because the 49ers took a shot at him, all the other 31 teams are going to want to come and see what this kid can do. So does he make the practice squad? Probably not. What's going on, Vince? Probably not. Why? Because one man loss is another man's treasure. I'll leave it at that. Do I want him to make the practice squad? Hell yeah. My man Kazan Lee says Isaiah has most of the measurables. It seems to me that he just needs to be coached up. Yeah. And so that can take a lot, you know. That's a project type of a player. And so the 49ers can do some things, right? Like all right, you go back to last year's list. You look at last year's list. Jason Poe, to me, is going to be a problem once he gets his opportunity for the 49ers. I think he has the work ethic. He's coachable. He just needed to get into a football position and kind of like gear and get his body right for whatever that position is going to be. He's a future guy, right? And so that's cool. And so you kept Jason Poe. But again, they brought in 3 more linemen. We're not even looking at Joey Fisher. You're not even looking at these guys that are here. Corey Luciano, who could play center. Il Manning, who can play guard. This is going to be interesting because, to me, is Nick Zakiel going to be the swing tackle? Like, it's too many scenarios. Way too many scenarios. What I'm excited is that this kid does have the measurables. The 6'4", the great hands, 4.5 speed. He has the measurables. Right? I think his 3 cone is under 7. He has the measurables. Not going to hold you to that. Big guy in the slot, give that to me any day. You feel me? Give that to me any day. Keep your eyes on him. I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers make him look bad. I'll leave it at that. And then get him on the practice squad. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right. Spencer Wage is another guy you want to circle. He's a bigger defensive lineman, play edge at North Dakota State. They'll bring him in. He'll get a great workout. They're probably going to try to find a way to move him inside a little bit. Spencer Wage, excuse me. And so pay attention to him. See what he's going to be able to do. Again, they're going to be going against these guys, which are other rookies, right? They're not going to be going against the cream of the crop players. But my favorite out of all these players, and I'm not, there's no bias. I'm not a biased person. My favorite is running back Kaylan LeBourne. He went to Florida State, dealt with some injuries there, transferred to Marshall, and finished top 10 in rushing in NCAA. 1,513 yards, a lot of touchdowns, couple of fumbles. But you want to talk about yards after contact? Interesting that they brought in the Kaylan LeBourne. I heard that AWAT was good too. My eyes are going to be glued to LeBourne because you already showed me that you were Bobby Turner. The 49ers didn't draft any running backs, which lets me know that A, they may be set at running back, but they need guys on this practice squad. God forbid anything happens to any one of their running backs. These two guys may just make the practice squad. They give you two different types of games. One is a bruiser, one is an outside guy. This is going to be super interesting to watch. Pay attention to the two running backs. Pay attention to the two running backs. The rest of the guys on this list will probably be kind of let go. And if something happens, I'm hoping they'll end up making the practice squad. So what the 49ers are trying to do, they'll get to stash, if I'm not mistaken, 7 vets, 10 undrafted type of players. 7 veterans, that's 17. I believe that's the number for the practice squad. I may have that wrong. It might be, but I think I'm right. I think it's 7 vets, 10 rookies for the practice squad. The 49ers are going to be looking to stash them. This is going to be super interesting to watch. So those are your undrafted guys. But people are really going to be paying attention to these guys, to the drafted guys, right? The guys that got drafted by the 49ers. 49ers had 9 draft selections in the 2023 NFL draft. I apologize if they're not in correct order. I try my best to go off the top of my dome without looking stuff up. That's why the show started a tad bit later than what it was supposed to. But we're going with Jair Brown, Jake Moody, Cameron Latude, Darrell Luter Jr., all right, Robert Bill Jr., who was signed already, by the way, D. Winters, Ronnie Bell, my man Braden Willis, and last but not least, Jalen Graham. All right, those were the 9 guys. I'm excited to see what these guys are going to bring. 2 linebackers. Oh my gosh. Johnny Holland is going to have a field day with his linebackers. You heard John Chapman on the Friday show. If you guys didn't check out the Friday show, you missed it. Please go check it out. There's one position that the 49ers draft and produce well. It's the linebacking position. I'm excited because I'm just super excited to see what he's going to do. I believe this is why Marcelino McCrary-Ball got that 1-year deal, and they are going to have a camp for the ages. Right now, you're set at Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner. Who is going to play the Sam linebacker? Who's going to be out there on that strong side? It's going to be super interesting to see from these rookies, man. These are coverage linebackers, too. These are guys with speed. You can utilize, to me, Jalen Graham is better in coverage. Okay, he's the guy that can drop back in coverage. Weird speed time, but great in coverage, right? Weird 40 time, but great in coverage. I'm excited to see what Jalen Graham does. D. Winters is going to be utilized as a weapon. You know how we got Deebo Samuel on the offense? Expect that to be D. Winters on the defense. He has the speed. He can blitz. He can drop back. He's pretty decent in tackling. I don't want to see him in space tackling, but if he's the first guy to be the first missile to make the hit, that's going to be a really good hit, and then hopefully the rest of your guys will get there to wrap and tackle. It's going to be super interesting to see how Johnny Holland uses these linebackers, how they produce. Again, if you can bet your bottom dollar on one position, bottom dollar, one position, what do the 49ers breed well? Which position group develops well? It's your linebackers. You trust the coaching. You just trust it. That's it. End of discussion. You don't care who they pick. You just say, coaches, Johnny Holland, you got some guys you wanted. Work your magic, baby. And that's what you do. That's what I feel like they're going to do. I can't wait to see the linebackers. You got Fred Warner that'll be there for OTAs. But right now, who is going to be the leader of these linebackers? They got D. Winters, Jalen Graham, and Mariano Mari Sarin. I think that's how you say his last name. The undrafted guy. So they got 3 guys that are going to be there, which fills in your linebackers. See what they're doing? All right. And like I said, they got I'm going to bump it up to 30. Oh, and Raphael, you're right. And the running backs. Sometimes the running backs be hit and miss, though. Sometimes Turner, I'm not saying it be on Turner, but sometimes I feel like the running back position be hit or miss. I'm going to leave it at that. If like, let's say Kyle Shanahan wants a back, there's a back he's infatuated with. It may not work. It might not be a Bobby Turner guy. Put that on Kyle. You know what I mean? That's on Kyle. But this is going to be super interesting to watch. Again, Ronnie Bell is probably going to turn heads. He's a special teams guy. He can line up in the slot. He could win his routes. It's going to be interesting to see how he cooks in camp. And all these players, there's only one lock. But even at the kicking position is a competition, right? You won't have Zane Gonzalez there, but like I expect Jake Moody to be kicking them balls, period. No pause. Kicking them balls. And I mean hard, too. No pause. No pause this morning. I don't need pause. I know exactly what I'm saying, and I know exactly how I'm saying it. All right? I expect that to go down 1,450%. And as soon as Symmetry walked in, of course I said what I said. But yeah, what's going on, Sim? I do. I expect Jake Moody to be kicking the hell out of them balls at rookie minicamp. All right? So it's going to be really interesting to watch these guys, man. But pay attention to those. Oh, no. Pay attention to those undrafted players. The drafted players are pretty much, they should be locks. Now, last year, the 49ers drafted some players, and they didn't make the roster. They didn't make the roster. Some of them cleared and made the practice squad, but some of them were let go. They didn't make the roster. They didn't even make our practice. They didn't make other teams. They made it to other teams. Tariq Castro-Fields would have been one of the players from last year. I'm excited to see how it's going to go down. All right, guys, what I want to do right now is I'm going to open up the phone lines for you guys, and I want to know from you, how do you feel the offseason has been so far for the 49ers? The 49ers offseason. So that's what you guys are going to discuss. All right, I'm going to open up the phone lines, because it's almost preseason talk time. All right. The offseason is almost on its way out. We're going to start these camps up, which is going to be super exciting. And so let's go ahead and get that in there. I'm going to put the link in the chat. All right. First 5 people that click on the link can be a guest on today's show. And let's have some mother-loving fun with it. You dig? All right, here we go. So, how do you feel the offseason has been so far? You've been listening to my grades. You've been listening to me talk. What's going on, Dion? I saw your comment out there. Crazy. Super duper crazy. All right. No, I did not hear him say that. That's crazy. And, if you can pick one of the undrafted guys to make the roster, who would it be? One of the undrafted guys. Don't worry, I got the list right here. All right. All right, so click on that link if you want to be a part of the show. If not, we'll go ahead and keep it moving. That's how we do it. But I'm super excited again to see how this offseason is going to fare up. If you guys got questions and you want to put some questions in the chat, go ahead and put them in there. My man Case49 says, UDFA will have to be amazing to make the 53. Yeah, right? Like, well, amazing and a bit of fate, right? Case 53, that picture is fire too. Is that Malcolm X? Just curious. Fifth, like something, God forbid something happens. That's all I'm saying. So fate, I don't know. Anyway, let's get my man Dion on here. What's going on, fam?
What's good with you, Breezy? How's it going this morning, man?
Things are going very well over here. It's beautiful outside. It's in the good high 70s, almost 80 degrees. I'm loving the weather. Probably going to go outside after we finish this episode. But how have you been? And I want you to go ahead and talk about how the 49ers offseason has been. And I would love to know if there's a certain player that you feel like of the undrafted guys that you want us to watch out for.
Of the undrafted guys, I haven't got into them just as of yet. I'm actually going to do that after I get off work. But I will tell you right now, D. Winters.
The drafted guys.
Watch that dude.
Yeah.
Watch D. Winters. That is my sleeper. D. Winters is my Talanoa Hufunga for this year.
Okay.
That dude is about to ball. Oh, my. Man, I've seen some linebackers. D. Winters?
5th round steals, right?
That kid is about to do some damage. But go ahead, Breeze. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like he's going to be utilized as a weapon. I think that was the way, like he's going to be the Debo Samuel, all right, of the defense. And the reason why I said that is because, is Debo a wide receiver? Is Debo a running back? And then they kind of like created this wide back. And then you're saying, well, is D Winters a linebacker? Is he a safety? And he's going to be a safe back. I don't know what else to call it.
You basically, you're right. That's perfect. And hey, patent that, coin that. Safe back. I'm telling you, Breezy, make sure people pay you when they use your words. You dig what I'm saying? Baby, you got to get the yaper, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, but be honest with you, man, the off season for me, it's been great. They've done a very, very good job as far as I've seen. And to be honest with you, we drafted because they felt there were no holes. They obviously feel comfortable enough with the O-line that they didn't need to draft an O-lineman. I don't even think we picked one up in the undrafted free agents. So basically they're saying they got the dudes in camp, and one of these dudes has to show up and show out. I can tell you right now, Jalen Moore on the clock. He on the clock because they picked up several people, and they pretty much all but handed the right tackle job to Colt McKibben. So Jalen Moore, I don't know what's going on with him.
Well, let's since you're here, let's talk about this, because a lot of people are worried. Not weary. They're worried of the offensive line. They feel like that's the weakest position. I was having a conversation this morning, and I just don't get how it's the weakest position. Let's go back to 2022 when the 49ers had several holes to fill on the offensive line, and your bookends, was Mike McGlinchey on the right side, which everybody said we needed a better player. He was just not good, blah, 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 blah. Fine, cool. And then Trent Williams. And then you had to fill it in. You had the first year starting as a center and Jake Brendel, okay? You had Aaron Banks starting his first year, and you had a rookie, a fourth-round draft pick, I got to make sure I say this right, and Spencer Burford from UTSA that came into camp and said, bump all you Mickey Fickies, I'll just switch from tackle and play guard. There was 3 holes on that offensive line, and I feel like one game made them look pretty bad, and it's tough when you have a defensive line built like the Philadelphia Eagles. I think people forget that they may have the best defensive line. We have the best defensive player, but overall their line was better. They had rotational guys. They had guys that came in and gave people fresh time. So overall, they had a better defensive line. I would say that our line last year was decent, and they got us into the NFC Championship. And first year starting at center was a Pro Bowl alternate. Well, guess what? Let's flip it to this year. How many holes on that offensive line, bro?
It's only the right tackle spot. That's literally what we had.
Dion, I want you to say it again so people can hear you.
It's okay. I'll say it again, people. It's only the right tackle spot. And Breezy, my nickname for those 3 dudes in the middle is the Triple Bs. Banks, Burford, and Brendan. So
you get where I'm going with this. I hope I'm not throwing you off, and I want you to feel however you want. I'm just saying, Colt McKivitz was the 49ers swing tackle, and when he had to come in and relieve a tackle because they had to miss a game due to injury, he graded very well. He played very well. Yeah. He wasn't an issue. Now,
and to be honest with you really quick, it tells you he's not an issue when Trent Williams says, I probably should have let Colton play because I wasn't 100% in that game.
You talk about the NFC Championship now.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if Trent is telling you, I would have been fine if this dude would have stepped in my place, that tells you the dude has something. I'm not saying he's perfect. I don't know how he's going to be a right tackle. But if Silverback vouching for him, I'm rolling with it. I'm not about to sit up here. I mean, and I get it. Sometimes teammates are, they're homers. They're like, yeah, these are my guys. But usually Trent's not going to back somebody who he don't feel is making strides. He backed Aaron Banks, and look at Banks.
And it worked out.
It helps that he's playing next to the Silverback, but it worked out. You know what I'm saying? So I think, honestly, that right tackle spot is the only thing that we miss. Other than that, we're going to be solid.
And so listen, I want the pushback. I want people to feel the way that they want.
Yeah.
I want that, but I what I'm trying to do is just paint a picture that have some type of optimism to where there's a bright side to the story of the offensive line. We're going into 2023. You just told me it was only really one hole. Mainly, it's a question mark. I don't know if it's a hole, but it's definitely a question mark. Here's what you're going to get from Colton McKivitz. I will put $100. He will be the toughest offensive lineman out there, hands down. Gridiron warrior, won an award for being that guy. You're gonna get that. Number two, he's been healthy. Number three, he's a better pass protecting offensive tackle than Mike McGlinchey. And let me ask you this. We've been complaining about Mike McGlinchey in what?
Pass pro.
Why?
Because he sucks.
How? I'm gonna hit you with all them shit, so get ready.
He just because he can't do it. He always gets put on his back. His feet are bad.
He can't anchor, Dion. Yeah. He can't anchor. He just a strong bull will bull rush him, and he's on his patootie. That's his weakness.
People remember Mike McGlinchey got bull rushed by C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who about half his size.
I wasn't gonna say that, but yes, that's my point. If you're strong and you hit him up top, he's falling on his butt. He has no feet to anchor. He has no weight to anchor. And that's where we struggle. Everybody keeps saying, we got to protect the quarterback. You got a better blocking guy now. You got a better pass protecting right tackle.
I love it. And I hope to God that they leave the offensive line the way it is. And honestly, give Trey his 8 games like he gave Brock and then go from there. Honestly, I'm telling everybody out there that loves Brock, I love Brock too. I think he's great. But what I can tell you is, I honestly don't think they start him out in the season as far as week 1. I think they put him on the PUP, let him rest a little bit, get a better look at Trey, do a little bit of an assessment, see how we're looking, and go from there. Did you – I put it in the comments. Breezy, tell me. Did you see?
I didn't.
Chris Bruce, he dropped the N-word on national television, and everybody on the panel was like,
was he mad?
No, it was in flow. Like, you talking woo woo, and it happened. Like, I felt like I was dead. He cold dropped it on national television, and everybody on the panel was just looking at him like, bro, you didn't. Like, you know how we talk. We just have a conversation, and it just goes, bro, I was dead. Oh, so dead. He had me crying. I was like, no, he didn't. And it, like I said, it's in conversation, so it just flowed. It just came out. There was no ill intent. It just happened. But I was dying, bro. I'm gonna send you the clip on IG. My man.
I can't stop laughing because it happens.
It does. You don't know it's happening. Like, you in convo. Like, okay, put it like this. And I'm gonna get at you on the side about this too. I want to find out if we can try to find a way to get all the content creators together. You know what I'm saying? In like one spot. That's gonna be cool. You know, to have us all. But imagine me, you, Mose. You know what I'm saying?
I've done it, so I don't really.
Like all of us in person having it. It's gonna be a couple of them drop.
I've done it, and so hey, you know, it comes out.
It's crazy.
I'm talking to my
yeah. Hey, but to everybody out there, thank y'all so much for the prayers. My son is home.
Yes,
he was able to spend his 18th birthday just this past Saturday at home. Everything is cool, man. We just still getting the treatments, but thank y'all so much for the prayers. Prayer works, prayer helps. God is real. I appreciate everyone out there, man. Thank y'all so much. I briefly mentioned it because I'm not that person. I don't go looking for that. And, you know, everybody just jumped on top of it, man. So I'm telling you right now, the faithful is real, man. And I feel the love, and I thank y'all so much. I'm appreciative of it.
Hey, man, listen, we love you. We love your family. And if you need anything, bro, just hit me up on the text, man. Don't hit me up on no social media. You got my number.
Yes.
If you need anything, I got you, bro.
Of course, man. Hey, nothing but love. Hey, everybody stay up, stay faithful, and remember, find that clip for yourself. It will make you laugh.
I'm
Start your
already
day off with
laughing.
a laugh, man. It's good for the soul, baby.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you, D.
Hey, good luck. Hey, good luck to your Celtics, man. Hopefully, y'all keep it pushing, baby.
I'm
Good
good.
luck.
Everybody mad. I'm not. We did dumb shit and we lost. That's what happens. We get
Yeah,
over the brain farts and we'll be fine. That's
but
it. It's a brain fart.
I'm rooting for your Celtics, man. I'm
Appreciate
rooting
you.
for you in the East. Now, if they come up against Golden State in the finals, I don't know, Breezy. I might have to go with California.
Just disappear for a little bit. That's all.
Okay.
That's it. You can talk your shit. Just go
All
south or
right.
something, man. Be like the
All right.
birds, man. Love you,
All
bro.
right, Breezy. Love you, bro. Peace.
All right, man. That's my man Dion, man. It's always good to have him on here, man. He just brings a good vibe, great energy for me. You saw I was able to laugh. I didn't get a chance to check out the Chris Broussard clip, but I can't wait to hear it. I'm sure I'll find it and get a chance to laugh. But Dion brought up something really interesting about the offensive linemen and how they didn't bring in certain offensive linemen. Now, they did bring in 3 undrafted guys. The 49ers do have a stacked offensive line. When I look at the offensive line, I mean 6 plus 6 plus 4, that's 16 offensive linemen that the 49ers have as of right now that are going to be hopefully headed into that will be headed into training camp because that's your 90, right? 16 offensive linemen. 16. Aaron Banks, Jason Poe, Spencer Burford, Nick Zakel, M. Manning, Joey Fisher. A lot of people have their eyes on Joey Fisher at rookie minicamp. Trent Williams, Matt Pryor, which was the free agent that they signed, Leroy Watson, Colton McKivitz, Jalen Moore, Alfredo Gutierrez, Jake Brendel, John Feliciano, another free agent, Keith Ishmael, another free agent, then Corey Luciano. All right, 16 offensive linemen. So for those that feel like the 49ers haven't addressed the offensive line, they did. They just didn't do it with the players we were hoping for. And I'm saying we because we're all together. If one person says it, it's always going to be we. I'm not going to let you hang out there on the ledge by yourself. I'm jumping with you. We all did. We all felt like we could have upgraded in the offensive line position, but the 49ers felt a little bit differently. Just a little bit differently. I appreciate Dion for coming on, man. We'll go ahead and end that segment. My man Kylie put out a comment out here. And I do want to address it because I don't know. Like, there's a lot of 49er content beef going on out there. Don't forget to participate in the poll question too, by the way. There's a lot of 49er content beef going out there, and I don't understand why. We're all trying to create great content in our own specific way. Let me just put it like this. There's only one 49ers niche, however you want to say the word, brand. It's only one. And it's being divided amongst 8 billion people because everybody has a show. And I'm glad. I want everybody to do what they love to do. Some people can do it full-time. Some people could do it part-time. Some people could do it quarter of the time. Some people just do it sporadically. It doesn't matter. My point is, why we beefing? Why is there a beef? Why does it matter who had sounds or who had this or who put out this take and who? How about we just stop being crabs in the barrel and we just support one another the best way that we can? Why is that so hard to ask for? I tell you one thing, I might not be the best 49er content creator out there or just content creator, period. But I can tell you one thing I will do. I will support you and I will push your stuff as much as I can to get you to the top. Let that shit sink in for a second because that's who Breezy is. That's who Breezy's always been. And that's why I never do buy by myself. I got to make sure that my brother's eating first. I'll leave it at that. But the beef? Come on, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And y'all know who y'all are. It's everybody. Everybody wants to eat. The way I see it, right? Because I'm from the music game. I'm from the music industry. I've been doing that for decades. And I'm still doing it. I'm just in a different lane right now. But my point is, I never understood why everybody had to have all the pies. Like, everybody can eat. But I get it. It's a gangster world. I understand it. I get it. For me, you'll find me in my own lane. If you're going to come into my lane, let me welcome you into the lane. Don't just try to come into the lane Know what I'm saying? Because that's when people get it twisted. I welcome you in, open arms, man. It's love. It's all love. It's got to be love. It's the only way to get through this. It's the only way. So instead of us beefing, how about we start bigging up our brothers? And if we feel like we're slacking in the area, hit them up on the side. Be like, yo, maybe you want to try this. Maybe you could try that. Be open to constructive criticism. If I suck, hit me up. You don't got to put it out in public. Just tell me, yo, Breeze, this is what you probably should try to work on, man. You're doing a good job, but you could be a lot better if you do this. Or you could be a lot better if you do that. If we big each other up and we stop being crabs in the barrel, we'll be at the top. And you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, and that goes for anybody. That's not just that's everybody. I don't care if you're white, black, Asian. It doesn't matter. If you're creating content, there's only one brand. It's the 49ers. We all love this team. We're all doing what we do. and let's continue to support one another. I'll leave it at that, yo. I'll leave it at that. I know I'm sure people are gonna watch the show and not say anything to my face, but it'll come back to me. I promise you. So be careful who you're talking to. I can tell you that right now. But at the end of the day, I don't care. All I want to do is big you up. I hope you guys had a great show. Listen, don't forget to participate. We're about to do the poll question. I didn't get my 100 votes. What's going on? I want my 100 votes, but it's okay. How many of the undrafted free agents will make the 53? And I saw my man D came in a little bit earlier and said it's going to be really hard to make the 53 roster as an undrafted guy. I tell you what, yo, Jordan Mason did it. And if I'm an undrafted guy, if I'm an undrafted player, you want to know who I'm hitting up? You can call me on my cell phone. Yeah. Late night when you need some information, right? I'm hitting up Jordan Mason and be like, yo, what did you do, bro? Like, this team is stacked. Like, I want to make this roster. What did you do, Jordan? That's who I'm hitting up. He made it active 53. He was utilized when he was called upon, and it's going to be tough. But how many undrafted free agents will make this 53-man roster? The choices were 0, 1, 2, 3 plus. And the majority of you guys said 2 of them. 52%. Wow. 52%. Hey, before we get off the air, if you were one of the people that voted for number 2, drop your 2 undrafted free agent guys in the chat. I'll post as many up as I can. Wow. 2? Shit. Sorry. Shoot. I was thinking 1. 2? Look, if I had to pick 2, because I'm going to go with you guys. If I'm gonna pick 2, I think I'm gonna go with. This is tough. I can't stand y'all. I'm gonna go with Kayvon LeBourne. Why another running back? Because he's that guy. He can break tackles. He's got a good 40. He's a 4.4 guy. I'm going with him. And then I got to go with the big fella, Joey Fisher. Look at y'all. Look at this. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. LeBourne and Fisher. I think I'm going to go. And look, Oscar, I ain't mad at Coletto, bro. If Coletto could find a way to. It's going to be hard for Coletto, though. Only because they drafted Braden Willis. Kyle Juszczyk is here, and Ross Dwelly is here. Ross Dwelly. That it's going to be tough for him. But he is a jackknife. I can tell you that. He's definitely going to be a jackknife, a special player if he can find a way to crack this roster. My man says Isaiah Winstead and Joey Fisher. Love the 2. Maui's talking about I don't see these rookies are definitely they're the drafted players. I think they're locks. Jadakiss Bonds, a great question from Great One 765. We're gonna end the show. We got a special a guest waiting in the call. Great One 765. What's going on, Jadakiss Bonds? Thought we signed him. So here's the interesting thing: he was never signed, but he was invited to the rookie minicamp. Will he be at the rookie minicamp that starts on Friday? I don't know. I believe he's going to be there. So he was never signed. This is Jadakiss Bonds, the wide receiver. I would love to have Jadakiss on this roster just because his name is Jadakiss. Monza, you ready? All right, let's do it. Let's end the show with this, man. What's going on, fam?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Everything's good?
Yeah, everything's good. How about you?
Everything's gravy, man. I'm blessed and highly favored, man. I would love to get your take on the 49ers offseason so far. And if there's a special undrafted guy you've been keeping your eye on, let everybody know who it is.
I haven't been keeping my eye on anyone, but just from who they drafted, I got to agree with you on Kellen Bourne.
Yeah.
On Kellen Bourne, if you look at our roster, that's really the only place you're going to get in. I don't think that the undrafted linemen are good enough to supplant people that have been working with our offensive line coach for more than one season.
Yeah.
I just don't think you're going to supplant them. So I got Kalan, and I think he's going to take TDP's spot.
Woo! See, I didn't want to be the one to. I didn't want to be the one to say that.
It's either he take TDP's spot or we move Mitchell.
All right, Monza, hold on. Let me go through the list. I got the list pulled up. List is already active, ready for you, baby. I'm glad you came on here. Here go the 49er running backs. Current CMC, Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason, TDP, Kyle Juszczyk is a lock. Ronald Awa and Kalen LeBourne, which is the guy you said is the undrafted guys, has a shot at making this roster. I like this. You said TDP is the guy that's going to be on the bubble.
Yeah. I mean, how many backs did we carry last year? Did we carry 5?
I believe we carried 4, and then we carried 4 backs. I believe 3 remained active throughout the season, but they were different guys. So your drafted guy was TDP. We had signed a bunch of free agents that you can kind of like slip onto the practice squad, like Coleman and those guys. They traded. See, we didn't even have this conversation. They traded Jeff Wilson Jr. like before mid-season, right before the trade deadline. So Elijah Mitchell, TDP, I hate to say it, Jordan Mason may end up on the trade block.
I don't think Mason will. He's got a year in the system. His average, man. His average is too high to get rid of him. His yards per carry is too high to get rid of him, I think. I mean, TDP was the most underwhelming back out of all of them last year.
Dude, I gotta put the stuff out there. He was injured. He did deal with injuries. The 49ers didn't trust him. He couldn't make special teams. That wasn't his thing. And that's why Jordan Mason had the edge over TDP, was because of special teams and health. Special teams and health. But then when they traded, I'm only going to say this because when they traded, what's his name, Jeff Wilson Jr., when they traded him, all of a sudden when Elijah Mitchell wasn't number 2, TDP became number 2, not Jordan Mason. So
right. I'm still kind of wondering why Jordan Mason said it. Kind of felt like he was in the doghouse a little bit.
It's tough.
But I mean, it could be a pass protection thing. You never know. I just think Kalan's gonna be too good to put him on the. I don't think he's gonna make it on the. I forget what the name of the list is. The practice squad.
The practice squad. Now you said it right. I
that's off the practice squad. I don't think he'll make it. I think he's gonna have. If he remains healthy, I think you're gonna see something from him in the preseason. And I don't think because his talent is undeniable, man. That kid can play ball. He can play ball. He's got great vision. I
know. I talked to him and I was
almost like Frank Gore in a different body type.
I hear you. I mean, and his yards after contact is what sold me. I could care less about anything else. He can hit out. He can get. First of all, he can hit the hole. He could get outside. Right. He has 4.4 speed. Shout out to Kalen LeBourne for correcting me too, because I used the website. They said that he ran a 4.5 at his pro day. He hit me up and the DMs was like, I'm more like a 4.4 guy. I started cracking up.
Yeah, it's changing direction. Like, I like him, man. I like, just what I've seen from the highlights of him, and they're either going to carry 5 backs or somebody's going to go.
It's going to be interesting to watch. But listen, man, I thank you for jumping on the show. I appreciate you, bro.
No problem.
All right, man. Peace out.
No problem. All right, peace.
That was fun because now I get to talk. First of all, running backs, if you guys haven't noticed this, that's my favorite position. It's the least, position where guys are going to get paid. They're going to get beat up. They're going to get bruised. They're kind of like the workhorse of the team. But I like what Monson was saying about the running back. That room is gonna be tough. That room is gonna be tough. So pay attention. Like these undrafted guys, there are two of them. Ronald Awa is no slouch. We haven't been talking about. I tell you what, this week I'll big him up and start showing him some love, so you can see what his specialties. He's an outside guy. Not sure what his speed is off the top of my head, but it's gonna be a problem. It's going to be a problem. LeBourne equals Breida? Nah, he don't have the Breida speed. Breida was fast. But his change of direction is amazing. And it seems like he doesn't lose speed at the change of direction. Does that make any sense? And the best part about him is if you get him down in the goal line, can you imagine Jordan Mason as a fullback blocking for this cat who can get into the end zone? The sky is the limit for the 49ers. They find ways. They find players. They find ways. You know what I mean? It's all good. But listen, we're going to get up out of here. We got a couple of super chats we want to get to before we leave. All right. And let's go ahead and do that with the super chat segment to end the show. I love you guys, man. I can't wait to see you guys on Wednesday. Before you guys dip out, let's show some love to Jax Knox. She gets the foghorn. She is just Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason ain't going nowhere, period. Hey, man, I'm not saying he's going anywhere. I feel like whenever I say that somebody can possibly get traded, it's just a possibility. Doesn't mean I want them traded. I don't think he's going anywhere either, Jax. What I was trying to say, though, is if they start showing more of what Mason can do, if I'm the other team, I'm calling about Mason. I might be willing to give you more for Jordan Mason. When you look at Jordan Mason and you look at Kaylan LeBourne, Mason is replaceable. You get a guy like Kaylan LeBourne. He can be just like a Jordan Mason with a little bit more speed. If the 49ers could flip an undrafted guy to a 3rd, 4th, 5th round draft pick, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'm sorry. It's just kind of like the way the game is. It's just kind of like the way it's a game. So I'm not saying that they will do that. I'm just saying if I'm the other team and I see something in Jordan Mason, I'm asking about Jordan Mason because that the 49ers may get a better bang for their buck, if that makes any sense. If you're a team out there and you say, hey, man, I'll give you a 6th round pick for TDP. I'll give you a 3rd round pick for Jordan Mason. Which one would you take? None of this is going to happen. It's just hypothetical. You get what I'm saying? People might not give you much for Elijah Mitchell because even though he could be a starting running back in this league, he hasn't proved he can be healthy. I'm just saying that that's a possibility. So I know everybody loves Jordan Mason, including Breezy. But when you look at a guy like Kaylan LeBourne, if he can give Bobby Turner what he sees, and Bobby Turner sees something that in this rookie minicamp, and then he gets the OTAs, and he's getting the installments, and he's doing well. He's blocking. His assignments are great. That was the only area box that, to me, I had to go and look at. His blocking, his pass protection. And he gave up 9 pressures, 1 sack. But his grade was super low because of the pressures. He still got his quarterback hit. It's just that. That's what the game is. All right. Love you guys. Listen, thank you so much for the contributions. More importantly, thank you guys for tuning in. You have no idea how hard it is when you're on at the same time as these heavyweights. They're doing their thing. I'm trying to do my thing. But because of you, we're here. I love you guys. Stay up, guys. Stay faithful. Always keep it nitty gritty. I believe Nitty Gritty will be on tonight at 7 p.m. I got to check with the crew. All right. We'll see what's going on, what's popping. Love y'all. See you tomorrow on the John and Wayne show. It'll be streaming on both channels. I'll make sure it's streaming on both channels. Love you guys. Always keep it nitty gritty, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Yeah.